And now, if we may return to an angle concerning Harvey Lee Oswald, who has been arrested, who has been charged with the murder of a Dallas policeman and will be charged, by word of the district attorney in Dallas, with the murder of President Kennedy. The man has a fascinating record. We've heard a great deal of it about how he was a Marine, went to Russia, wanted to become a citizen in 1957, returned to the United States in 1959. He was an admirer of Fidel Castro and all of that. Now we have an opportunity to shed more light on the background of this man, to round out one phase of his life and to give us an insight into his character. It so happened that NBC's Joseph Michaels, who is a New York reporter with NBC now, was stationed in Russia in 1959. He knows a great deal about this man. As a matter of fact, he has interviewed a man who knows H. Lee Oswald very well. Here is Joseph Michaels in New York.
The man I talked to, Carlos Bringuier, a Cuban, knows Oswald much better than he'd like to, as a matter of fact, Morgan. We can talk about Russia a bit later if you like. Right now, I'm interested in Oswald, the double agent. Carlos Bringuier lives in New Orleans. I think the best thing to do is just to run the conversation as we held it a few moments ago. Mr. Bringuier, you are a member of the Cuban Students Directorate in New Orleans, is that right?
Yes, sir. I am the local delegate here in New Orleans.
What does your organization do?
Well, we are an underground organization, an exile organization of students who are fighting against Castro communism, and we are raiding installations in Havana and trying to free Cuba.
I understand that you have had some contact with Mr. Oswald, is this right?
That's right, you're right.
When did this take place?
Well, this started in the beginning of August this year. Mr. Oswald came to my office here in the city of New Orleans and offered me his service as ex-Marine of the United States to fight against Castro or to train us to fight against Castro.
What did he say he could do for you?
Well, he said that he has a lot of experience as ex-Marine, and if in any moment we need persons to fight against Castro, he could fight by himself, or if not, he can show us how to fight because he has a guerrilla training and all those things.
What did he say was his interest in helping you?
Because he think that communism was a bad thing, and he was like to see Cuba free from Castro.
Did he say any nasty things about Castro?
Yeah, he told bad things about Castro.
And what did he ask you for anything?
Well, no, he didn't ask me for anything. He gave to me a book, a guidebook for Marines, with his name in the top of the first page, telling to me that that book could help us to be trained to fight against Castro. He was interested in the Cuban Student Directorate organization, but as a revolutionary organization, we never talked too much with a person who really we don't know.
What do you mean he was interested? How did he show his interest?
Well, because he said that that the Cuban Student Directorate was making raids in Cuba and was infiltrating people in Cuba, and he will be glad to work with us.
Did you meet him? Did you ever see him again?
Yes, sir. About 3 days later, one Cuban came to my office and told me that there was a person distributing propaganda in the 700 block of Canal Street, which is the main street here in New Orleans. We went over there. That was the August 9th, 1963. And we went over there, and I was shocked when I found that the same guy who was distributing the pro-communist propaganda in Canal Street was Lee H. Oswald.
You couldn't have been mistaken?
Pardon?
I said you couldn't have been mistaken about this?
No, I wasn't no mistake. And when he saw me, he smiled and tried to salute me. But I was really shocked and really angry because he had a sign telling Viva Fidel, hand off Cuba, and distributing some papers from the Fair Play for Cuba committee. because he was something that I knew later, that he was at that moment the chairman for Cuba Committee here in New Orleans.
At the same time that he was trying to infiltrate your organization?
Pardon? The same guy, exactly, the same person.
And at the same time?
At the same time, that's right.
What happened after that?
Well, we had trouble over there because we broke his propaganda, and we threw it away. In one moment, I was trying to hit him, but he crossed his arms down and told me, okay, Carlos, if you want to hit me, hit me. I thought in that moment that if I would hit him, he will appear as a victim, and that he was trying that I hit him. That in that case, I didn't hit him, and the police came and brought all of us to the prison here in the city, in the first district here in the city, and we paid a fine of $25 each one.
Did you ever see him again?
Well, yes. 3 days later, we appear in the second municipal court here in New Orleans, and in the trial, the judge dismissed the charges against us and fined him in $10 for disturbing the peace. He paid the fine and went free.
And was that the end of your connection with him?
No, sir. A few days later, one newsman, Bill Stockey, from here from New Orleans, contacted me because he wanted to know his address, the Oswald addresses, and I gave him, and the newsman told me that he will make an interview of Mr. Oswald. I disagree with the newsman, and I told him that I prefer to have a debate, because having a debate, we can show both parts of history. And the newsman agreed with me, and we held the debate on August 21st, 1963, at WDSU Radio here in New Orleans.
Is that the debate that we have already heard on NBC?
That's right.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Bringuier.
You are welcome, and I'm sorry very much as Cuban about what happened.
God bless you. Thank you.
Well, Joe Michaels, that interview you had a few minutes ago with the Cuban anti-Castro man is, I think the title of it should be The Double Agent Exposed.